Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today, guys. We got bills that have been passed. Things are moving, and it's finally making a dent into the Democratic Party, as well as cleaning out all the swamp. This is big. You're going to love it. Two major things that have passed. The one is the Stop Chinese Fentanyl Act. This has just passed in the House. 407 voted yes and 4 said nay, and I'm gonna give you the names of the people that actually voted no against stopping the Chinese Fentanyl Act. They literally voted to not prosecute or go against the people that are sending drugs into our country, killing Americans, killing our youth. 4 individuals. The majority of Democrats voted with the Republicans to pass this, but we've got the 4 individuals' names that we're going to give you in just a moment to go after the CCP for manufacturing and sending deadly fentanyl to the U.S. And guys, this next one is a big one. Tom Homan said a new bill to prosecute paid agitators is underway. The people that get paid to protest, cause destruction, fights, all the chaos, they're about to be stopped in a heartbeat. People who are funding paid left-wing agitators will be prosecuted per Tom Homan. He said they're working with members of Congress to pass a bill that anybody that is paid to protest, agitate, will be held at the highest level, pay the highest fines. We need to get rid of this in the United States. We also have where J.D. Vance is not holding back. I've never seen a vice president speak so explicitly about going after cartel members, drug lords, and the CCP fentanyl epidemic. He said we will use military force to take out anyone trying to bring drugs into the United States to kill American citizens. No mercy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because that's a big one. This could be like a high chance of being our next president of the United States of America. And he is for taking anybody down that is trying to bring drugs into the United States. We also have United States attorneys are working to identify the number of illegal aliens in the United States. Florida Attorney General has stated that 40 to 50 million illegal aliens are present within the United States. Attorney generals are saying that if they can identify the number of illegals, they can put through an emergency act to do a full-scale raid against every state in the United States. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because that's a big one. You're talking about dropping the prices of homes, dropping the amount of jobs that would be freed up. You take 40 to 50 million people that ain't supposed to be here, that's a big dent. Now, of course, it's going to rock the United States because they're probably working a lot of jobs. But you can't imagine the reason housing and all this is so high is because 40, 50 million people are here, not supposed to be here. Investigators have also just subpoenaed Act Blues, the Democratic campaign organization's top lawyers, in a massive donor fraud probe. Foreign money, stolen identities, 1,900 plus shady transactions. This is how the Democratic Party got so much money to fund Kamala Harris' effort to try to take out President Donald Trump. Remember, they had $1.5 billion. Foreign money was involved, dark money was involved, and now they're getting to the bottom of it, and it was literally through the biggest Democratic campaign fundraising organization in the United States. Want to say, too, that Tom Homan has come out also again and said that they have declared war against the criminal cartels. He said, we're going to war with illegal aliens, public safety threats that rape children, rape citizens, that commit armed robberies, that distribute narcotics, that kill Americans. We are going to war. Guys, if we didn't have these guys got a backbone of steel, and it's about dang time because they're fighting for American lives. They're fighting for our youth. They're fighting for our kids that have been exposed and seen all this fentanyl coming across. And it's just a dang shame you still had 4 Democrats that voted against stopping the Chinese fentanyl that is coming into the United States. And you bet we're going to expose them. We're going to show you exactly who they are, because it's sick. Putting America first should not be this hard. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching. We got a big show for you today. Breaking news, bombshell news. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News, hitting that subscribe button so that we can serve you every day with the top news. I want to say thank you to everybody that is supporting our channel through being a member or giving a super chat donation. You are so amazing. We're so grateful for your support. Want to give some special love to those given yesterday: Raymond Calhoun, Jennifer Hayes, Donald Little, Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel. Y'all show them some love in the chat, as well as Veronica Miskey. Show Veronica some love, and if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, it really does help out so much. We got a big show for you today. Things are passing, putting America first, holding these people accountable, and I'm telling you, my favorite is going to be the bill that's prosecuting paid agitators that are protesters. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm telling you, a lot of people are fed up. Listen to this.
You just heard it right.
You heard it. Do anything that you want. And we passed this bill. Finally, we passed this bill in the House, everybody, where we are trying to put America first. We are trying to make sure that nothing comes into the United States. The U.S. House passed the Stop Chinese Fentanyl Act, 407 votes, yes, 4 nay, to go after the CCP for manufacturing and sending deadly fentanyl to the United States. Look at that. You want to see the 4 people, the Democrats that voted against it? Here they are. Of course, no surprise, Elon Omar, Summer Lee, Delia Ramirez, and Latifah Simon. So you mean to tell me you would rather be in favor of not going after the people that are sending deadly fentanyl, killing Americans? This is what they just said with their vote. Mr. Tracy J. Norby, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said, hello, y'all. Let's hope all the swamp monsters are tossed out. Love you, Joel. Thanks for all the shout-outs. Brother, we love you, too. OG of the channel. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat, as well as Lori Rapier, member of the channel, said praying for Trump and MAGA. I love it. Show Lori some love in the chat, everybody. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. This right here, I'm telling you, when Trump says we have to go after the enemy within, it's whenever these people that would rather say, no, we don't want to go after the CCP, we don't want to go after them, no. We'd rather just let them keep doing what they're doing, and they voted against the Stop the Chinese Fentanyl Act. Like, this is mind-blowing, guys. Everybody, they need to be held accountable. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is disgusting that we have to see this. And Darcy Charlock, thank you so much for your support, as well as Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding. Let's go. Show them some love in the chat, too, as well.
That's right.
Guys, let me tell you this. You know that you've got the right people in office when they speak like this. This is what J.D. Vance is not holding back anymore. This is what you want to hear from your vice president. He said, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. This person came back and said, killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. He said, I don't give a what you call it. That is what I want to hear from the vice president when it comes to people that are trying to harm people of the United States of America. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because that is a backbone of steel that says, I don't care. We're going to protect Americans. We are America first. And I don't care what y'all think, because it doesn't matter. When people die, when people's childs are lost, that's why, look at this. There is distrust that is clouding the Democratic strategy amid the shutdown battle with the GOP. Why? Because Trump has so many dang common sense, good policies that even Democrats are switching over, some of them, because they don't want to be on the other side of crime. They don't want to be on the other side of Trump going against the drug issues. Let me know your thoughts. This is big. I want to say thank you so much, Tarina Smith, for the super chat. Said, can't support like I wish I could, but still always watch. Always, Tarina, you are awesome. Show Tarina some love in the chat, everybody. And don't forget to show Darcy Charlock some love for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Show Darcy some love in the chat, everybody. Faithful member, as well as Sharon Richardson. Said, God bless President Trump and you, Joel. I love it. Show Sharon some love in the chat. We are MAGA first here. America first. That's actually what we're coming up with our next merchandise drop. We'll show you that this week on the new designs, everybody. I'm super excited about it.
We won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything before that and in between. And then we decided to go woke and we changed the name to Department of Defense. So we're going Department of War.
Let's go, baby. Let me tell you this.
Clearly.
What I love is that not being afraid to put America first is where we're at. And that's what Trump and them are doing.
President Trump's words as his subsequent actions proving to the world that we are back. We now have a commander-in-chief that means what he says and says what he means. Peace through strength. Offense, not just defense.
I love it, everybody. And listen to this. Trump calls out everybody to their face. Why? Because if you don't, they'll continue lying and lying and lying. This is about Chicago and cleaning up Chicago and going to war with the criminals and the cartels that are pushing drugs all through Chicago.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
You hear that? It's not war, it's common sense, and I love it. Everything that we're fighting, I'm telling you, it is mind-blowing what is perpetuating throughout the United States. Look at what Trump put out. He put out this post. This is hilarious, y'all. Said, I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Holy smokes, y'all. What do you think? Like, Trump literally posted this. Let me know your thoughts because this is powerful. What we're going up against, the deep state, making sure that people know we're not playing around. We've allowed the United States to be taken over by sanctuary cities, woke policies, DEI policies, and it is draining. We're draining the swamp. We're cleaning up like never before, and it's about dang time. I'm so sick and tired of seeing America go easy on crime or thugs, and it's horrible because there was an incident that happened to a Ukrainian refugee over the past week. I want to show you this because it's sickening. This woman right here lost her life. She boarded she boarded this rail in the United States in North Carolina. She literally sat down. I'm not going to show the video. This is just the last moment before her life was taken. She's a Ukrainian refugee. She sat down. The guy behind her pulls out a knife, quietly unfolds it, and then takes her life. You want to know? There's been 0 riots, 0 looting, 0 outrage. There's been 0 news articles. Nothing. And it's sickening because let me show you this. Look at this. How many results? If you go to the AP news search, 74,221 for George Floyd. What about for Irina Zarutska? This is a person who is a Ukrainian refugee who came to the United States trying to escape war, did nothing wrong. The video, she does nothing. And now the worst part about this is that this guy has been in and out of jail. They literally said like he has psychopathic tendencies. But yet she lost her life because we are not cleaning up the streets. It's sad, but guess what? No big news outlets have said nothing about it. Why? Because it's a black on white crime. If it would have been the other way around, you would have had riots, you would have had protests, it would have been insane. But I'm going to show you the details because I'm telling you, the things that Trump are doing to clean up America, it is way past overdue. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Listen to this.
Reinforces what I've been saying on artificial intelligence. Not the best jobs report. But it's going to lead to a rate cut. So the casino, the stock market, they're running around. They couldn't be better. Market's up a little bit. Gold's over 3,600. The polls announced today their central bank, they're going to go from 20%, I think, of their assets in gold to 30%. I would watch what the central banks are doing and make sure you get into the dollar empire now more than ever. And I'm going to have Philip Patrick on tomorrow as part of the, I'm going to go through the economy tomorrow, kind of brick by brick. I think everybody needs to get up to speed on it. I gave a talk to the House Freedom Caucus yesterday at their conference and about the big, beautiful bill and the good news about it and some of the not so good news about it. The budget we're hurtling towards a shutdown on the 30th unless we acquiesce to a CR or a...
Which we will. We will. I've already got updated news for you, but there's some people asking about this. This is what she looks like. This was her without, because she just came. She worked at a pizzeria. This was a photo of her on social media, and this was the guy that took her life below. How many times he's been incarcerated? How many times that there's been an issue, and yet he was still let out on the streets? Now you tell me, was this right? But you're not hearing anything across. If it wasn't for X, you would have known nothing about this. And that's why what you're about to hear next and what's coming, because you just heard Bannon talking to the House Freedom Caucus, we have to clean up America. It is stupid that we have to report things like this. That you got a person who's been in, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 times, had his mugshot taken 14 times over just terrible things, and yet you don't hear nothing about it on any of the mainstream media because of the optics. He was black and she was white. Well, guess what? I'm brown. I'm in the middle. So I can say it, and I really don't care. I'm sick and tired of people committing heinous acts that their butt should be in jail.
The bus is what the Senate wants. They're going to have all kind of goodies for those tech bros last night. Bobby Kennedy stood in the breach. However, when President Trump answered the question about Bobby Kennedy, say, hey, he's a great guy, good man, stood in the breach. I think we want to get to a place where President Trump can say, hey, I've seen the data. I've seen the analysis. I've seen it. I've weighed and measured it. President Trump's a business guy. He's very good with numbers. Mm-hmm. I think that presentation's got to be made. Bobby Kennedy stood in the breach yesterday, and you heard they were like Harridans. I mean, they were hectoring the whole time, and they're on the payroll of Big Pharma. But the data and the math is on our side. We ought to be leading with that. We ought to be overwhelming them. So call them out and call them out what they've done for 20 years, and Bobby Kennedy did a great job of that. But this is a communications problem, not a policy problem. We're in an information war, folks. You know that. You're the hoplites in the information war. You're the force multipliers. You're the ones that actually make it happen. We're also in an information war in the economy. We have to be on offense. President Trump's on offense on policy. What kind of offense he is? This afternoon, he's going to sign an executive order, I think at 2 o'clock, to rename the Department of Defense Department of War. Because he says, hey, I want to go back to the name we had when we won them. He's focused on victory. We need to be focused on winning and victory, not just policy, but the information that goes around it that drives it to the next level. Short break. Back in the war room in just a moment.
Let me tell you this, y'all. It makes me sick. This actually came out from the Daily Mail News. This said migrant children lost under the Biden administration found dead or working as sex slaves. Do y'all realize, like, this stuff is coming out now? I want to send this to all my Democratic friends and family and say, yeah, so this is what you wanted when you just create this influx of just people coming in, people doing whatever they can to get in the United States, no vetting, no proper assessments whatsoever. And that's why I'm so happy about this right here. Tom Homan came out. This is from the leading report. People who are funding paid left-wing agitators will be prosecuted. New bill is coming out for that. We need to put, look, it just so happened that two people, I don't know if you know who these people are, but their last name is Soros. But when people, there's a new bill coming out, people that are found to have been paid agitators, taking money to cause destruction and chaos, they're going to be fined at the highest level, years in prison. We have to stop the chaos. And if we don't, we'll continue to see people controlling our country, egging on all these people to do horrible, horrible things, riots and protests. And it's not even American citizens, it's foreign entities that are paying them to do it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Okay. Our quote unquote allies have had their meeting, had their teleconference yesterday. I still don't think we know any commitments, any hard commitments. Britain right now is in the middle of a crisis because they've come up. Oh, we're 50 billion short. I think it's 50 billion pounds short on their budget. They got a gap, and in England, it's not that easy to fill it, but they're not the prime reserve currency anymore. It's not as easy to make up those kind of misses. So they've got a massive struggle over there. Besides the fact, in the speech yesterday, the Daily Telegraph, the headline for the afternoon edition of at least the news site, the website was my talking about a coming civil war in Great Britain. You see that coming from what's happening every night with these St. George Cross flags going up and Union Jacks going up. Something very, very dark is happening.
Yep.
As London has fallen, right? I'll talk about this more over the weekend and next week as we do the run-up to 9/11 and talk about 9/11 and what's happening in 9/11, particularly in the capitals of Europe. That's what I said yesterday on this situation about our geopolitics and geostrategic focus. The Chinese Communist Party is clearly coming for us. It's very obvious it was a flex. President Trump's gone out of his way to try to work a deal out that works for both parties and takes the world to the next level. They're not interested.
Nope.
It's quite evident they're not interested. What they did in Beijing the other day is a flex. Because they had Kim. It's not just Putin, right? But they had Kim. They also had Kim on the Financial Times did the work for me. They had Kim on the podium. They had Mini-Me on the podium. They had him up there because they understand he's out of control with the nuclear weapons. And I've always told people when they're doing the Korean thing, the Obama guys were telling us the biggest thing. I said, it's a vassal state of the Chinese Communist Party. He's going to do exactly what the CCP tells him to do. And he's got that finger on the nuclear trigger because they don't want to do it. They got him to do it.
Let me tell you this, everybody. What he's talking about, the war that we have, the United States House passed a Stop the Chinese Fentanyl Act, 407-4. And yes, it was 4 Democrats that voted against holding the CCP accountable for manufacturing and sending deadly fentanyl to the United States. But this right here, I'm telling you, the crackdown is coming. And this is what we voted for. Homan says Chicago absolutely should expect immigration enforcement this week because there's people that hate the United States. There's people that have come here to cause destruction and they're being paid by foreign entities. And if we don't stop them, who will? I'm telling you, this crackdown is coming down and it's about dang time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Want to give some special love to Jim Arnold, OG of the channel, brother. Said we need to get rid of the Soros district attorneys who make mockery of our justice system. God bless and protect Trump. Vance, amen, brother. Show Jim some love in the chat. OG of the channel. Thank you so much, brother, for your support and our giving. Y'all show him some love. Show Glow some love in the chat. Said pray for our community, our families, and our administration. Amen. Show Glow and Jim some love in the chat, as well as Andy, OG of the channel. Thank you so much, brother. Said Trump is attacking Venezuela. How about Colombia, Ecuador, Bolivia, Mexico, and other Latin American countries that benefit from the drug money? It's not one country, 100%. But you have to make the example with one, and then you set the tone for the others. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat, everybody. And don't forget to show Jim some love, as well as Darcy Sharlock for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships, helping us to grow our family. I'm ready to see change. How about you? If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Also, just want to make sure, guys, do not cuss in the chat. If you cuss, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to block you. I want a clean chat. And for this person who just essentially just cussed me out, guess what? I don't really care to read your very disgusting message. I'm just going to block you. It's time that we see change. America first. It doesn't matter. Black, white, whatever. If you're American, you're American. Red, white, and blue is the colors you represent. Listen to this.
I think we have a major messaging problem. It's got to stop. We got to get organized. There's got to be a cohesive economic message. It just has to be. There's many great things going on in the big, beautiful bill. This is what I told the Freedom Caucus yesterday. And the White House, you know, you've got different elements of the White House. You got Commerce, you got Treasury. There's good news. We got to bundle it in a package, and boom. You know, first step is to concentration of force and power to give what we call muzzle velocity. That's what Robert Bartley, the great editor of the Wall Street Journal, had two great things for people thinking about information warfare. Number one, it ain't a scoop until you treat it as a scoop. Number two is muzzle velocity on any story. You have to be able to drive through the white noise, and particularly the resistance of the mainstream media is just the propaganda arm for the globalists, for the existing order, the established order. And also, I think we have to have this conversation. We have to have it now, because last night was, quite frankly, an outrage. The day that Bobby Kennedy testifies and is getting grilled and crucified in a star chamber, as we told you, on Inquisition, and look at the inappropriate. They call him a liar. They call him a grifter. They call him a con artist. They called him a shill. They said he should be fired. He should be terminated. And this is the Republicans. Just kidding. But the Republicans were not great. Cassidy was terrible. And later we'll talk about Cassidy. There's no chance he's going to beat John Bell Edwards in a race down there in Louisiana. MAGA can't stand this guy. The Maha movement hates him. They should hate him. His little trick questions yesterday to Bobby Kennedy were unacceptable. But how do you have, on the day that Kennedy's going to testify, how do you have these the tech oligarchs in there with the president, who are the worst? First off, they all hate the president. If for somehow Newsom wins in 28, I know it's remote, but I'm just saying, theoretically, if he wins in 28, they're all going to be on his side. They're all progressives to a person. There's not one MAGA person in that crowd. In fact, they hate MAGA.
Yep.
They hate the American people. They consider you deal baggage. They don't look out for the American people. They don't look out for the country. They don't even believe in the country. They don't even believe in the nation state. It's the worst group of humans on earth. Half of them on the spectrum. And you have Mark Zuckerberg. And by the way, the people responsible for this is guy, Michael Kratsiosis. I don't even know why he's around the White House, this technology guy. He's a open door to these guys. On the day that Bobby Kennedy, you have the worst people in the pandemic, in the information warfare, in the lies and information warfare and suppression. You have that crowd there on the day that Bobby Kennedy testifies. Have you lost your mind? See, they have no fundamental basic understanding of our movement. They just don't. They just come in, After November 4th, yes, they threw a little money at Trump in 2024. No doubt. They put some money up. But they're grifting. And David Sachs, I don't even know his role and his conflicts of interest. We're going to have Senator Banks on here in a while talking about it. These lobbyists, the law firms pushing this, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And here's what's got to stop. You want to have a catastrophe in 2026? Keep going down the road of the tech bros. You want to have a catastrophe in 20, and they're going to bail on you in a second. It's not like, okay, we'll do it because they're in the trenches, they're fixed bayonets. No, the exact opposite. They're all progressive Democrats. Not one of them, oh, maybe a couple of them are libertarians, right? And that's just a phony way to say, oh, I'm a libertarian, which are really a progressive Democrat.
And that's why, again, too, the draining the swamp, making sure that we cannot have people infiltrating and messing with our elections, holding these people accountable. This is massive. Look at this. President Trump is hitting illegal aliens with fines as high as $300,000 or $1,000 per day. They are in the USA illegally after getting an order to deport. Do you support this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much, Lade Lewis, for the super chat. Let's go. Said, hey, Joel, food for thought. If the shoe was on the other foot, if we were in their countries, would other countries allow us to behave the way that these folks are acting here? Not a bit. Not one dang bit. We get taken advantage of as the United States because we're one of the most grateful, we're the most giving countries in the world. We literally give more to charity than any other country out there. That's what we're known for. You know, with church and whatnot, we give tithes, offerings, things like that. People take advantage of it, and that's what they've done. And our government and a lot of elected officials have seen that it's a way to buy votes, and that's what the Democrats have done. Y'all show Lade Lewis some love in the chat, as well as don't forget to show Jim Arnold some love in the chat, everybody. Listen to this, because I'm telling you, this government shutdown, what's about to happen, it's a dang shame.
Where our conference talked about clearing the nominations backlog. And we are where we are right now because of the Democrat obstruction, which is historic and unprecedented. We have never seen a time where the opposition party has literally blocked and forced the president and his team, and us here as the majority in the Senate, to go through all the machinations of trying to get a nominee across the finish line. It used to be that these were done largely by unanimous consent or voice vote. And this president is the only president at this point in his presidency, going back to Herbert Hoover. We went back all the way to the Hoover administration, who hasn't had a single one of his noms confirmed either by voice vote or unanimous consent. So this is of the Democrats' making. It's not something that we can sustain. This business model doesn't work. This president was duly elected by the American people, and they expect him to be able to put his team in place to govern the country and enact the agenda that they voted for. So we are in the process of continuing to have the conversations with our Republican senators, but expect us to move forward with a plan that would enable us to clear the backlog of nominees. It just flat has to happen. And the reason, again, is because of the Trump derangement syndrome that afflicts the Democrats in the United States Senate to the point where their hatred of President Trump is borderline pathological.
Yes.
There isn't anything right now that they want.
What do they call it? TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Imagine sitting in front of a therapist and they're like, yep, you've lost it. You got Trump derangement syndrome. We're going to have to prescribe you something. That's literally where a lot of these Democrats are at. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for all your support, everybody.
Vote for that he has his fingerprints on, and getting his team in place is absolutely essential. It's part of governing this country, and we're going to move forward. On the other issues that are before the Senate, delighted to have the defense authorization bill on the floor, which again is unusual given historic or recent precedent. This is something that in the past the Democrats have typically waited until December to do for political purposes or other reasons. But Chairman Wicker, under his leadership, Senate Armed Services Committee acted, And they have incorporated literally 1,000-member requests, both Democrat and Republican, in the product that is on the floor. We will hope to have an open amendment process where other members can have an opportunity to get their amendments voted on and perhaps strengthen and improve the bill even further. But this is something that is so important to our country. It's a piece of legislation we need to do every year. We wanted to do it in a timely way, under regular order, the way it should be done, and that's why I'm very pleased that it is on the floor in the month of September, open for amendment, and I hope that in the end we can get a defense authorization bill passed that addresses the critical needs that our country has when it comes to national security and the very dangerous world in which we all live. And we did a lot of funding of some of these necessary priorities in the One Big Beautiful Bill, but the Defense Authorization Bill is the place where the issues of our military, when it comes to our uniformed personnel, when it comes to weaponry and technology, military assets, all get addressed. And so I'm pleased to have the bill on the floor.
And I want to show you this too, that what he's talking about in the funding and where things are going is right here. Because I just showed you, and let me go ahead and find this real quick, that Attorney General of Florida is estimating that there is 40 to 50 million illegals in the United States. Look at this, everybody. I bring the receipts from the leading report. Got it right here. 40 to 50 million illegal aliens in the United States, Florida Attorney General says. So whenever we're talking about the funding and all that stuff, it's going to take an investment in order to do what you're about to see on the screen.
Look, I think it's worth being taken out of context. If I said we're going to war with the criminal cartels. We're going to war with illegal aliens, public safety threats that rape children, that raped citizens, that committed armed robberies, that distribute narcotics that kill Americans. We're at war with the criminal cartels, and Governor Pritzker protects criminal, illegal alien, public safety threats every day in that state, along with Mayor Johnson. We proved that. The first week of the administration, I went to Chicago. I started an operation there. The first day, we arrested 9 sexual predators, most of them child rapists. We arrested 9 members of TDA. Several of those TDA members had a pistol, an illegal pistol with a switch on it, which makes that pistol fully automatic.
Wow.
We arrested 2 illegal aliens that had a homicide conviction. That was the first day in Chicago. So, you know, President Trump and this administration, yeah, we're at war with the criminal cartels and those who want to murder and rape American citizens. You did.
I'm telling you, that's why everything about the funding, what they're trying to do, I support. But dang it, I'm telling you, it is insane how much the fight is within our own party, even with what you're about to hear next.
You said yesterday you don't want the CR to be negotiated in a leadership suite like it was under Schumer and the Democrats previously. What do you envision for moving the CR later this month? Then you're going to receive something from the House, and do you bring it directly to the floor, or do you send it to the Appropriations Committee? What's the process?
Well, I mean, I think the CR, hopefully, yes, it will come from the House. Would be my expectation, but hopefully built up around conversations that have been held between Tom Cole, the chair of the Appropriations Committee in the House, and Senator Susan Collins, the chair of the Appropriations Committee here in the Senate. That will guide that work, and then obviously the White House is going to play a very big role in all of this too. But my hope would be that whatever that CR looks like, that it's clean, and that it enables us to buy some time to get a regular appropriations process done. I still think the best way to fund the government is through the appropriations process, and I'm hoping that this year, unlike past years where the Democrats had the majority here, we actually will have an opportunity to put bills on the floor, appropriation bills on the floor, have an amendment process that enables all members to have their voices heard, and in a very constructive way, take care of funding the government the old-fashioned way. But we will inevitably, it looks like, need a CR for some time in the foreseeable future, and what that looks like and how long that might extend, I think probably is a matter of discussion.
Spending cuts, is that on the table, spending cuts, any of them?
Well, I mean, I think the Appropriations Committee, as Susan Collins points out, in the past, always has rescissions in their bills. And I think that spending cuts sure ought to be on the table. If there are ways we can find savings, make government more efficient, get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, we ought to be looking for ways to do that. So I certainly welcome that conversation and debate, and I think most of our members share that view. So, as we go about appropriations, it's also figuring out what funding levels are necessary to keep the government funded and programs funded for the next year. But it's also about trying to make our government more efficient, smaller, and more fiscally responsible.
Yes, fiscally responsible, please. But I'm telling you, this right here, we're going to see a shutdown, everybody. I think it's going to happen. I'm 99% sure it's going to happen. But the Democrats' strategy right now is getting harder and harder. We're seeing polls where a lot of people, even on the Democratic side, say that they don't understand why a lot of the Democrats are going against Trump on the crime when the numbers are down exponentially. And it's like, what do you expect? It's common sense. Reduce crime. People don't want to deal with crime. Just like I showed you earlier with what happened with that one lady. Just also want to say thank you so much, Andy, for the super chat. Let's go. He said, who is going to pay this $300,000? Trump thinks they're going to pay. It's a joke. Why doesn't he deduct it from the money that is sent to the country, every single person? 100%. That's actually a good idea. And I think they're putting a tax on the remittance, which I think is already there. $90 billion a year gets sent from the United States to Mexico. And that's big, everybody. But I wanted to do a quick note because I'm telling you, the corruption is real. What Trump is trying to do is real. But we got to fight against the corruption. We got to make sure that Americans are put first. So I want to get a word in from our sponsor. Guys, we only have one sponsor on the channel. We've been approached by so many people. I said no to everybody except Chapter. And the reason being, the link is in the description to go and put in the form, or you can call them, which they said it's better, but the number is 667-895-3015. Because when we're dealing with corruption, we're dealing with people that are not putting America first, you got to have help. This is free, everybody. They compare every single Medicare plan. They've saved seniors on average $1,100 per year. And guys, look at me. Why I'm saying this is because I've studied it. I've looked into everything. This is not me just reading off some dang script. No, it's all coming because I believe in these people. They've already helped so many members out on our channel. And even with my mom, when she told me about what happened with my grandpa and the Medicare and all this, I said, you gotta be kidding me. Why does it always take the government to make something so dumb, hard, and stupid? It's supposed to be simple, but it's not. And that's why Chapter is such a big help. And that's why we are sponsored with them. And again, too, it goes back to this. Like, this is one of the biggest. They put out that the United States filed False Claims Act complaint against 3 national health insurance companies and 3 brokers alleging unlawful kickbacks and discrimination against disabled Americans. This is messed up. This is people just trying to get health insurance here in the United States. And that's why you got to have help. This is free help. They're going to take care of you. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News, 667-895-3015. They're going to take care of you, everybody. I promise. Because I'm telling you, if we don't have the right people in place, if we're not doing the right things, we're going to keep losing. And we have to have a red wave. And what you're about to see next, I'm telling you, this is big. Like, this is some big, big stuff that you won't even believe how far the Democrats are going to try not to do what they're supposed to be doing. Listen to this.
Chicago's building a wall. Actually, lots of little walls. Pritzker's putting up fences around courthouses and City Hall. Why? To stop Trump from sending the Guard and ICE in. Pritzker didn't want a wall to protect the country, or to protect the country from illegals. He's putting up a wall to protect the illegals and criminals from Trump.
It's sick.
ICE is expected to launch a major operation in just a matter of hours, and the National Guard could be sent in at any second. The city wants to help, but a handful of people are ready for battle.
No more deportation. We shall not be moved. No more deportation.
Wow.
We shall not be moved. Like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
That'll do.
Let me tell you this. This came out. Homan says Chicago absolutely should expect immigration enforcement this week. FAFO, everybody. They're losing it. No more playing around. Want to say thank you so much, Mr. Norby, for the super chat. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. Said I just get sick to see all these haters out there. If y'all mess with my boy TrueLife News, you may also start bigger issues for yourself too. You go, Joel. Thank you so much, brother Norby. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the chat, guys. I'm telling you, like I believe in doing what's right. I believe in putting America first, and I just hate it that you blatantly see so many dang people that are supposed to be serving their constituents, yet they're doing this right here. Let me spend no telling millions of dollars putting up barriers and protecting the United States federal government from removing illegals that are not even supposed to be here from our country.
Chicago's got at least 150,000 illegals. Homan better clear his calendar.
Wow.
The only thing harder than sniffing out bad hombres is locking up gangsters. They've run the South Side for decades. Primetime did a ride-along.
We obviously know we got wars in Ukraine and Israel. Would you also say there's a different type of level of war here in Chicago?
Man, it's everyday war, bro. I ain't like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm signing up for the army. This war out here too, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Same way you sign up for the army. When you drop off that porch, you sign up for the streets.
How many times have you been shot at?
My been shot at a couple times. I actually got shot last year. A lot of people don't even know that. I got shot 2 times on my side.
And how many times have you been shot?
I've been shot 3 times.
Wow.
Gangs wage war in the streets and kids get caught in the crossfire.
You got people still robbing, stealing, killing. Just the other day, a 5-year-old boy got killed, shot in the head. It's like it's never gonna end. So if Mr. Trump want to bring these troops to Chicago, hey, bring them on. What we got to lose?
Colbert's telling that granny, F you.
Yesterday, Trump also posted.
Gotta watch out, guys, on this. I don't want to get in trouble.
Lives in a mansion in New Jersey with a gate and an alarm system and security.
Oh,
He has a driver take him in and out of work every day, and guards usher him in and out of the studio. Do you think little Steven could survive on the South Side without all that? I mean, I couldn't, but could he? If he were there, he'd be begging 47 to mobilize. The most dangerous Steven's ever been is when a senior in high school gave him a wedgie. He should follow Don Lemon's lead, who transitioned into Johnny and went to Baltimore.
Should the president send armed troops here?
No.
What about you, sir? President send armed troops here?
Yes.
I've been a resident of Maryland all my life, so I think it would help some. My husband was murdered 2 years ago, and nothing was ever done.
I think that it's always extra help needed. And then, therefore, we can feel more safe. I've been looking around at the kids. Crime is coming in every area. You know,
I'm not opposed of it.
If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, everybody, this is what I'm talking about. When you hear real people that say, you know what? Kind of makes sense. Let's reduce the crime. Let's do what it takes, because what they've done so far isn't working.
I think it'll be a good idea. It'll be a breath of fresh air.
Peace is only one call away. Look at D.C. People were scared to go out to dinner. Now the president's making reservations.
We've gone from one of the most dangerous cities in our country to what they call a safe city. It's a totally safe city. In fact, I set up dinner in Washington, D.C. next week.
White House reporters used to cheer on BLM when they were rioting in the Capitol, and now they're narking on misdemeanors. Watch.
Just out front of the White House is a blue tent that originally was put there to be an anti-nuclear tent for nuclear arms. It's kind of morphed into more of an anti-American at sometimes, anti-Trump at many times.
Where is this blue tent?
Right in front of the White House on the North Lawn on the other side of the Black Gate in Lafayette.
I haven't known this.
All of us in here walk right by it every day. It is an eyesore.
Oh, I didn't know that. Take it down. Take it down today, right now.
I love that. They had a picture of it, but I couldn't find it, guys. Let me tell you this. Again, it's not like Trump's people were going after everybody. I wanted to show you this because remember, it's always about following the money. investigators just subpoenaed ActBlue's top lawyers in a massive donor fraud probe, foreign money, stolen identities, 1,900 plus shady transactions, all this stuff, following the money, making sure that we hold people accountable because, again, the more and more that we cut down the money that's been able to flow in for corruption, the more that you're going to see that United States is more red than you could ever have imagined. Like, that's what I'm seeing. And it's mind-blowing because, again, too, this type of stuff, it's like everybody knew it was happening, but now it's all for sure. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Norby, for the super chat. Says, stop the Democrats singing. They have no rhythm or they can't sing worth a squat. No wonder they don't have enough of a voice anymore. Can't sing, can't dance, ain't got no rhythm. Let's go. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. OG of the channel. I'm telling you, like the stuff that's coming out, the economy. We just had a jobs report that came in last week. And what I love is I love bringing context. Because whenever you're reducing the number of jobs in the federal government, your numbers are going to be down. And I'm okay with that. I want to reduce the government and get limited government. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Listen to this.
And digest today's data while also hoping that the Fed will finally begin cutting interest rates. And the White House expects higher cuts might be on the table now.
I think that the Fed will certainly want to consider, what moves it would make. And I would imagine that when you set an agenda at the Fed, the chairman of the Fed sets the agenda, then they have options that they all consider and discuss. And I would guess that they'll be discussing the main market expectation is 25 basis points. But I would guess that there would be an expectation, a discussion of a higher cut.
All right, Liz Peek, we chewed on this a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of meat on this bone. The potential for a deeper Fed rate cut definitely had the market enthusiastic this morning. Now the Dow's fallen off a little bit as investors are digesting all this. But I want to go back to what President Trump said in that soundbite, because when you look at the numbers and the shift, where the jobs were, where jobs were lost, government jobs went down, the native-born workers went down, but he's talking about manufacturing jobs, that he's saying once these companies start really legitimately setting up shop here and hiring people, that in a year from now, when that happens, you're going to see a boom.
Yeah, well, I think he's totally right. I mean, if the companies follow through with the many, many pledges that have been made to manufacture here, and also, by the way, respond to the numerous inducements to manufacture here, whether it's lower regulations, lower taxes, full expensing of all kinds of investments, cheap energy. I mean, there's a lot of things that really should promote a manufacturing boom in the United States, including what the president has been talking about with a lot of overseas countries. And yes, back to the rate cut, I think it's 100% now that we're going to see a rate cut. I think there's going to be a lot of talk about how, once again, Powell is too late. There have been months of data showing that the job market was weakening, but I will also say I have no idea what the job market looks like. Right now,
Thank you.
Yeah, the household survey showed almost 300,000 jobs added in the last month. The establishment survey obviously was very weak. What does it mean? We don't know. By the way, E.J. Antoni is not running the BLS, so for the people out there saying, oh, Trump's guy is going to manufacture the numbers, this is without him. He's not involved. So I just think this is a huge mess, bad reporting, bad data, and I'm so happy someone else is going to actually take hold of this agency.
That would have a huge impact, Brian, and it would leave a big footprint, a legacy footprint for this administration if they were able to do something about this, because this isn't even a partisan issue. This is an issue about making decisions based on data, very important decisions about interest rates that impact consumers, that impact the government and its debt borrowing cost. We cannot afford to have backward-looking data that doesn't give us what we need to be able to make decisions right now.
Yeah, the benefit of backward-looking data is you should know what it is because it's happened already and you've counted it. The fact that we can't do that, and for years, I mean, this is not a new issue. You can go back 3-4 years and you saw the cracks of this starting. And I know people complained about firing the head of the BLS, but nobody's done anything about this. At some point, you have to have accountability. But I agree with you, Liz, actually. So this is a weak jobs report, and I think we're in sort of a slowdown phase here. But there are some things happening that I think do set us up well in 2026. Business equipment spending is through the roof this year. Okay,
Thanks to the big beautiful bill, which incentivized it.
The roof.
Yeah.
First half of this year. Now, you don't see the benefit of that right away. And Kevin Hassett was talking about that this morning when he was on America's Newsroom. He was saying there's a little bit of a lag in that. So I think the hiring picture does turn around a little bit here. And I'm curious about what the Fed does in September. There's a lot of drama. We don't know if Lisa Cook's going to vote.
Yeah.
Is she going to show up? I don't know. I don't think she's going to vote for a rate cut if she does. But I'm seeing, Liz, and you were referencing this, your prediction market's 100% rate cut, okay? And more people are saying 50 basis point rate cut, which would be, I think would be a very big deal. Steve Forbes wants 100. We're not going to get that. But there could be a lot of juice in the second half of this year into 2026.
We're going to talk more about Lisa Cook later in the hour, so I don't want to get too much into it. But what you're talking about.
Let me tell you this, everybody. It literally bothers me so much every single time. How is it that the dang schedule is the same every single year, but yet we get news articles like this? Congress races to avoid government shutdown as partisan standoff deepens. Oh no, we have to race to make sure we do our dang jobs of make sure that we set out a budget. And oh, since we didn't do a good enough job, we're just going to go into another deficit and more debt. It blows my mind how often we see this. But it's just, we're calling it out. We're going to keep calling it out. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. We're going to call out everybody. Republicans and Democrats both took we literally have the majority in the House and in the Senate, yet we took recesses for an entire month off and didn't do our job. If they would have stuck around, worked on the budget, did something that was fiscally responsible, it would be 100% more of a win for the GOP. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's just, I'm sick and tired of seeing so much dang. It's like, you can't even say it's incompetence. It's just like not priority for the congressional leaders. It is not a priority for them to try and save your money. It's not a priority for them to cut spending. It's like, it's all just a show.
No, you can ask me anything you want. I can tie Lisa Cook into the markets and the Federal Reserve's problem. She's a real estate hoarder because she thinks that real estate, she owns 3 properties, an apartment above the Four Seasons Hotel in Atlanta, a house in Michigan, a condo in Cambridge, and then she apparently lives in D.C., I would assume, because I don't believe she lives in any of these 3 pieces of property.
Maybe she has an
owns.
RV in D.C. or something. That would really round it out.
Yeah, but would you park that? Because you're going to get jacked.
Down by the river.
You're getting
Not
jacked.
anymore.
And you would have
Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore.
You would have gotten RV jacked in D.C. if you were trying to live in your mobile vehicle. But she's a real estate hoarder, and it speaks to the inflation problem that is the mania in asset prices. That you can't, like, this is how you get rich. That somebody owns 3 properties because real estate's going sky high. So the economy, the job market is weakening, but you have inflation expectations are still elevated compared to where they were before the pandemic. The 5-year inflation rate break even was 1.6 before the pandemic. Now it's 2.5. And so it's still slightly elevated. And you have people who are like, the Fed's going to cut and prop up this gambling and prop up these asset bubbles. So I think that you're still in a pickle, even though the job market is weakening. And the Fed is clearly going to cut because of what the bond market is telling them to do with shorter term interest rates. Liz,
I'll tell you this, what we're about to see with this government, we're going to get really, really close. And I promise you, Mike Johnson is going to give the Democrats whatever they want, and it is going to suck because it's going to be worse for America. We're going to be giving more money overseas because of this. But there's one person who's standing up who's saying, look, if we do not stop this, and he's gone against Trump, he's gone against some of the MAGA policies. Like, let me know your thoughts, guys, because again, regardless of whether you like him or not, he's a vote. A very precious vote in the Senate right now. Let me know your thoughts.
As always, I mean, Swazi went out there and said it. He's a Long Island congressman. It's a mixed district. You got to be a moderate Democrat. But he's, so far as I know, he's the only Democratic, national office holder who said get him out of the party. He doesn't want the party to be a socialist party. What do you make of it?
Well, I think it's unusual, actually. The majority of Democrats want the Democrat socialists. They see all these young people wanting socialism. But socialism's been tried a few times, as you might recall. They had socialism in Russia and the Soviet Union. Stalin tried it. Mao tried it in China. And let's see, 50 million people died from starvation. Hayek wrote about this a lot. Hayek wrote about the fatal conceit. He said that socialists believe you can get all these experts in a room and they can decide how many shoes should be made, how many cars, how much corn should be grown. But it turns out every time they tried this planning, it didn't work, and that capitalism was smarter because capitalism involves millions of people interacting simultaneously. It allows supply and demand to meet. And when that happens, you get efficiency. You get goods distributed in an abundant way at the cheapest price possible. And socialism can never beat that. It's also why China will never match America. It's why Russia could never match America. We should actually be more confident in our system and not fear, the Chinese, the Chinese. The Chinese form of capitalism still has a healthy dose of socialism and will never match ours if we leave our economy alone.
Actually, on that point, the only time China's economy came alive was in the 80s and 90s because of Deng Xiaoping's reforms. They were market reforms. I mean, he let people keep some of the profits from the farms. He let entrepreneurs build and own new factories. Now, the last 10, 15 years, the Chinese economy has steadily deteriorated as Xi Jinping cuts back on the free market reforms. And the state is now running the economy just almost as badly as it was 30 or 40 or 50 years ago.
Yeah, and every bit of success the Chinese still have is owed to capitalism. And their leaders don't want to hear that. They want to say it's a special form of socialism. No, what they've allowed is some capitalism. And whatever capitalism they have there is allowing them to produce things. The moment they squelch it with socialism, and the current leadership has tried more, it leads to stagnation. And I think they are in a process where I think there is an analogy to the Soviet Union, where everybody predicted, the Soviet Union had such great might in the 60s and 70s. And it turns out when we finally learned what was going on behind there, they were much weaker than we had predicted. Now, we know more about China because they interact in the market, buying and selling. But I still say we need to be proud. When people want to be proud of their country in America, we need to be proud of our economic system, because that's truly, what has made our country great.
So I got this guy here in New York, wants to be mayor. He wants the state to run.
Let me tell you this. If there's anything that Trump is doing right now, is he is exposing every bit of people within our own country, congressional leaders, senators, federal bureaucrats, just hate America. They're only in it for themselves. And when you get into these positions, you're supposed to be serving we the people. Is that not the point? Is that not what the oath is? But when we see this right here, there's no thing that you could tell me that says that we got the wrong people in place. We do. That we don't have the right people in place. We don't have it. When you get to this point, it happens every single dang year at the exact same time. But yet now we're racing to avoid a government shutdown. Oh, we got to make a big deal about it. I'm ready for a new dang leader. I'm ready for a MAGA leader. Throw in Marjorie Taylor Greene. Throw in for the Senate Majority Leader, John Kennedy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you're watching. You appreciate this. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up like button. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want to serve you. We are doing big things with this channel. We'll be releasing our new designs for our new merchandise for the end of this year. Guys, I'm telling you, I love it because, again, growing this community, seeing the amount of people give, our members, we are giving more than we ever have this month. We're going to be giving to a local children's home. It is just amazing because we are changing lives. And I want to give some special love to those that have given today. Jim Arnold, OG of the channel, show Jim some love in the chat. Veronica Miski, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, OG, show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. Lori Rapier, Darcy Sharlock for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. Show Darcy some love in the chat. Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate your faithful support. Tarina Smith, thank you so much. Sharon Richardson, let's go. Wanda Johnson, welcome to the family. Glow, appreciate you and DOG of the channel. Lay Lewis, thank y'all so much for your support. Thank y'all so much. Catherine Newtek, welcome to the family. Just want to give some special love to others that support. Sandra Mario Wenzi, April Green, B1 Sly One. Guys, show them some love in the chat. Sharon Richardson, Alice Lewis. Thank y'all for sharing our videos on X, on Facebook, helping us to grow our community. It means so much to me and my family that we get to do this every single day. And we bust our butt to give you the best show and just make sure that you get all the breaking news and you stay informed. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.